Blessed love and blessings way up, my fire fam. Canelo Saul Alvarez with the blood of John Ryder all over him as he, really dominated John Ryder. Let's just start out the video by saying that. Now I know and I can agree that he's definitely not the Canelo Saul Alvarez that we're used to seeing, but after all, he is aging. He is human. He has had a long career. He has 62 fights, 60 something fights now. Man started his pro career when he was like 15 years old. Literally started his pro career when he was 15 years old. Definitely has had a long career, has a stacked resume. He's been doing this shit for a long time, you know what I'm saying? So, still dominated John Ryder, but the claims are that he's washed up. I wouldn't say he's washed up at all. I would just say that he's getting older, and he's definitely not the Canelo of a few years ago, but he's still a hell of a fighter, and he's still an elite fighter, and he's still one of the world's best fighters, you know what I mean? Now, with all that being said, he still did some things better in this fight than he's done in his past few fights. I mean, in my opinion anyway. The right hand was on absolute display. I mean, he couldn't miss with it, whether he was throwing it straight, whether he was looping it. The jab was on display, doubling up the jab, really setting up the right hand with the jab. And that stuff that he just wasn't doing in his previous fights. Was not setting up his combinations with the jab, was just walking towards his opponents, trying to land single power punches. What was again really noticeable to me in this fight, that has been noticeable to me in his past fights, along with not using his jab, he still wasn't throwing combinations. He just doesn't seem to be the combination puncher that he was before. He's always been one hell of a combination puncher. I mean, even in his first 2 fights with Triple G, hell of a combination fighter, but we just haven't seen that with Canelo Alvarez in the past few fights, and I think those days are past us, you know what I'm saying? Also, we didn't see the head movement. He resorted to just walking towards Ryder and using very minimal head movement while wanting to catch punches. And we got to give credit to John Ryder. With all due respect to John Ryder, he's not the fighter that he was a few years ago either, but still a very good fighter. But he's not the fighter that he was a few years ago either, and neither is Canelo Alvarez. But is Canelo Alvarez washed up? Absolutely not. He's still a very elite fighter and one of the best fighters in the world, still given with the things that he doesn't do and with the things that he's doing now. Does he make a less difficult fight now for some of the opponents that we've been wanting to see him fight in the past? A Demetrius Andrade, Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. He presents I wouldn't say an easier, but a less difficult fight now for these guys. That he's aging, but it's life, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens to boxers, to great boxers, to all boxers. So again, it's definitely not a surprise to me. Is it, kind of weird to see? Yeah, the man's aging, he's slowing down, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, but still a great fighter, and still really beat up John Ryder, broke his nose, had his face all bloody. But I am very interested in seeing what's next for Canelo Saul Alvarez. He got a lot of options as he is passing the torch to the younger generation, like Gervonta Tank Davis. He still has a lot of options though. So you guys tell me in the comment section what y'all think is next for Canelo Saul Alvarez. Who you guys think he's gonna fight, and how it turns out. Until the next video, keep fighting your fight and protect yourself at all times, man. Peace and one love. Is Coach Fighters, Real Life Boxing.